visualization of Buddha Shakyamuni, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, Arya Manjushri, Arya Vajrapani, Arya Buddheshvara, Arya Thara, and all enlightened beings. Arya Nagarjuna, the Aryadeva, Buddha Padita, Ajahn Chandrakirti, Bodhisattva Shantideva, in front of you, in the space in front of you, and visualize your two parents and all the demonstrations beings around you, including children. Okay, you will meditate on emptiness of yourself. Just be in the present moment. Disengage yourself from ruminating over the past experiences. Stop yourself of anticipating for any future events. Disengage yourself from all the sensory objects. Be in the present moment and follow the instructions. Try as much to invoke the respective experiences. What are you doing? I'm meditating. Remember what Buddha Shakyamuni taught in the sutra, that the beautiful flowers and the elegant the houses, they appear so alluring, but none of these is created by any external agent other than your mind. Through conceptualization, everything is imputed, everything comes into being. Including yourself? Yes. What are you doing now? I'm meditating. What is your body doing? My body is in meditative posture. Are you sure that you're meditating? Your body is in meditative posture? Yes. How does this person appear to you, the self? How does this self appear to you? Like a dream? That the self is nothing but like a dream. It's just created by your mind. Nothing different looks just like. Or it's so solidified, objectively there. Of course it's so objectively. This is how it appears to me. So objectively there, so solidly there. Okay. This perception of this self to be objectively real, so solidly objectified, solidified, this is known as self-grasping ignorance. How can I say that this is self-grasping ignorance? It doesn't. And this is a very invalid mind. How can I know this? How do I know that this self doesn't exist as solidified objectively there, no object? Yes. If the person does exist objectively, remember what Arya Nagarjuna said. If the mirage were to be water, why not those close by the mirage see water? If the mirage were to be water, why not those close by the mirage see water? Okay, likewise, in a like manner, if this person were to exist objectively, why not I see this person as I go closer to this object? Okay, let us now go closer to this object, what we have learned as subjecting this person to the ultimate analysis. Let us go closer to this object. Going closer to this object, we see that there's a very thin layer of the skin. It is not me. We are not interested in what is not me. I'm only interested in those things which are me. By going close to the object, I'm only interested in what is me, and those which are not me, I will discard them. Okay, the thin layer of the skin, discard that. Behind that, you see the fatty tissues. Behind that, muscles, the cartilages. None of these is me. Behind that is the skeleton, the bones, the heart, the lungs, the spleen, the kidney, gallbladder. constitute the element of earth. Element of earth is not me. Keep them away. Now element of water, the blood which is pummeled out by the heart, different parts of the body. That is also not me, of course. That is not me to move that. Element of fire, the body heat. Of course the body is not me. People cannot see my body heat from distance, they can see me. And the body heat can go up and go down, it can increase and decrease. But the cell does not decrease and increase, so therefore even this body is also not me. And fire is not me to move that. And the air which I breathe in and out through my lungs, of course that is also not me. The moment the air goes out, it doesn't have a gender. Anybody can take this air, so that is also not me to move that. But it's left in the space. Space is back in nature, I'm sort of present. And in the space, the orifices, the space which is within my body, they are also not me to move that. But it's only the consciousness is left. If the consciousness is also not me, I'm a male, I'm a female, my consciousness doesn't have a gender. Gender is positive on the basis of the body. So that means this consciousness also not be removed that. What is left now? Nothing is left there. Nothing is left there. Stay in this experience for a while. Okay. Now, bring back the 6 elements. What are you seeing? 2 questions. The first question, what are you seeing? I'm seeing 6 elements. You're actually seeing the isolate of the 6 elements. Where's the person? Where's this person who's meditating? The person's empty. The person disappears. You are seeing the isolate of the emptiness of the person. Of the 2 isolates. Of the 2 isolates. Use the first isolate and seeing the 6 elements, isolate 6 elements as the stepping stone. And on that basis, you grab at the isolate, the second isolate of the emptiness of the person. Grab that experience and abide in this experience that the person disappears, that the person is empty. And this is what you are not fabricating. This is not what you the person disappears is not what you're fabricating. This is not what you're exaggerating. This is what you're discovering. This is a fact. You have discovered this fact. Stay in this experience that this person disappears. Besides the 6 elements, this person is empty. Stay in this experience for a while. Now imagine, slowly imagine, you again distant. From there you're looking at yourself. Again the person comes back, comes back. Again you go too close to the object. Again the eye disappears. Again go away. Eye comes back. Again, come closer, it disappears. Go to a distance, it comes back. There's a constant change happening. This eye comes back, it disappears, comes back, it disappears, comes back, it disappears. On the object there is no difference. On the object there is no difference. And the object there is no change. The change goes down is on the perception level. Anything which is a part of this change should be on the perception level. And the perception is purely subjective. Perception taking place on the subject, not on the object. So therefore anything which is part of this change is nothing but the subjective. So this self which comes and disappears, is part of this change, part of the perception and purely subjective. Okay. Slowly going to this subjective, the ultimate analysis of the person. What you see, you are seeing 6 elements. Where is this person? The person disappears. Stay in this experience that the person is empty. Stay in this experience for a while. Okay. Now you may wonder, until the person disappears, but the 6 elements is left. Therefore the 6 elements must be objectively real. No. you subject these 6 elements to the Atman and others, they will also disappear. You see the emptiness of the object exists of the 6 elements also. Let us try the skeleton. The skeleton which is within me now. The element of earth, part of the element of earth, the skeleton. The skeleton, if you see the skeleton by itself, is so scary to look at it. Even if it is your own skeleton, it's so scary. And if it is the skeleton of someone else, it is even more scary. Okay. If this scary skeleton, the skeleton is made of, it's made of millions of bone cells. And these bone cells, are made of a cell membrane, the cytoplasm, the nucleus. And the nucleus contains the chromosomes. And the chromosomes, you can stay here. The chromosomes, if seen through the electron microscope, it's very repulsive to look at, like a snake. Okay, the chromosome is not the bone. Cytoplasm is not the bone. Cell membranes are not the bone. Where's the bone? Where's the skeleton? Where's the skeleton? Where's this skeleton? It disappears. What are you seeing now? I'm just seeing the chromosomes and these parts. The skeleton, where's the skeleton? The skeleton disappears. Seeing this experience, that going too close towards from where the skeleton appears to its object, the skeleton disappears, the skeleton is empty, stays experience. And this is not what we are exaggerating, this is what we are discovering, this is a fact that we've discovered. Okay. Now, it is simply by dependence on these things which are not skeleton, that from distance you get an impression, you get the perception of the skeleton. Because the skeleton is what comes into being on the basis of the imputation, on the basis of these molecules, DNA molecules, and so forth, chromosomes and so forth. Now this chromosome, even this chromosome, you go closer to this chromosome, you say this is made of DNA molecules. And the molecules are made of millions of atoms. Now the chromosome, you don't see the chromosome, you see millions of atoms. Where's the chromosome? The chromosome disappears. Stay in this experience that besides the millions of atoms, the chromosome is not there. The chromosome disappears. The chromosome is empty. Stay in this experience. Again, the same thing. Imagine that you come away from these the atoms, the chromosome comes back, and when you closer to those atoms, chromosome disappears. Again, this constant change happening. Chromosomes come, disappear, come, disappear, come, disappear. There's constant change happening, but the change is not happening on the object. Object remains the same. If there's change happening, there's on the subject, the perception. Perception purely just the subject. Anything which is involved with this change is purely subjective. So the chromosome being what is involved in this change, this chromosome is nothing but coming from, other than but coming from your own mind, subjective mind. So this chromosome comes into being by the subjective imputation on the basis of the millions of atoms. So by dependence on these atoms, by dependence on the imputed mind, the chromosome comes to the perception which is purely subjective. Therefore, the person is subjected by dependence, comes into being by the part of the mind on the basis of dependence on the 6 elements. And each of the 6 elements, such as the element of earth, like the skeleton, even that is also subjectively imputed on the basis by dependence on the chromosomes and so forth. If this chromosome also comes into being by mental imputation through dependent origination by dependence on the millions of atoms. So now we see that there's nothing really here which does not exist by dependent origination. Therefore, there's nothing there which exists independently and objectively. Okay. Slowly come out of meditation. Come out of meditation. Okay. So, and this is how we should be meditating on emptiness of the self. Now you can do the same thing on the flower. You can do the same thing on your, you say, people to whom you feel attached to people to whom you feel averse to, like this one. And then the detailed version of the meditation. One sample of the detailed meditation, you'll find a recording which we did once, I think, in Deer Park Institute. We did that. The recording is available on www.bodhiwisdom.org. In the bodhiwisdom.org, all these meditation recordings are available. So you can take out that. What we did now is a part of it. A full-fledged version you'll find from there, right? So then first I would suggest you to listen to that full-fledged version of the meditation emptiness. And you can listen to it like 2 times or 3 times. 2 times. And then try to formulate the understanding within your mind. Then on that basis, you can pick up any part of this, or you can do the full fledged, or you can do the part of it. This is a sample. That's a sample. And later on, once you become rich in your intellectual learning, reflection, and some experience with the emptiness, the meditation, then you should design your own practice of the meditative emptiness. Okay. We'll stop here. So according to my watch, there are 3 minutes. Any questions? 3 minutes more. Any questions? Okay. If not, we'll stop here.
Geshela, what are imprints? How are imprints put? Karmic imprints. If the mind is not objectively, how are the karmic imprints?
Okay. If the mind is not objectively real, then how the karmic imprints are laid, right? Okay, let me put it like this. Let's say that, this example usually which I give would be very helpful. Say you cut with the knife, you cut bread. With the knife, you cut bread, right? Well, there's a bread here, and the knife, it cuts the bread. Okay. In fact, once as a very young boy, I was so fascinated by a bakery. Usually when we into school, in the school, we used to have what is known as kitchen duty. As a young boy, you may be aged, I think, 10, 11, 12, we have to do our kitchen duty, which means that we have to cut the breads. When you cut the breads break. It does not, we cannot cut it beautifully, right? Very sharp, that is missing. Somehow it breaks into pieces, right? Once I was in, say, one small town on my holiday, and I entered in a bakery, and the person who was the baker? Okay, the baker, somebody ordered the bread. So he ordered bread and he used a very long knife. Knife that we have is very small, cute ones. Even these cute ones cannot cut it properly. And he was using a very long one and he cut so precise. I was so fascinated just watching it. Okay. Imagine that you are cutting bread. Cutting bread. And then you cut the hand. Sometimes if you are not good at it, you can cut your hand. Sometimes you chop the what? Onions. Right? Onions, you can chop your hand also. Sometimes your fingers also disappear. Sometimes it happens, right? So now imagine this is so important. Just see, try to see that in that light. And then see that something is happening. Emotionally, some stir happens to us. Say you cut the bread. Cut the bread means the bread that solid air, right, which is solid one unit, which is broken into two pieces. In actuality, the bread is always into two pieces, right? Because the knife actually does not really even touch the bread. How? The knife is made of millions of atoms, yes, no? And the bread is also made of millions of atoms, right? Atoms don't touch each other. You getting it? Atoms don't touch each other. Atoms is made of nucleus and electrons around it, right? Even electrons, they don't touch the nucleus, right? The space between the electrons and neutron, the nucleus, is massive. And this electron does not touch the electron of the bread, right? So therefore, the knife, the bunch of the atoms go in the bread, right? And the bunch of the atoms of the bread, they are separated, right? Even the knife did not even touch the bread. So when His Holiness the Dalai Lama goes to the public, the security guards will not cut the people. Not cut the people, they will push the people, right? To make way. So actually, the bunch of atoms of the knife, right? They push the atoms of the bread. And they make the way. And they see the two things. And then when you look at it, no, it's actually cutting. It actually cuts my hand. Blood comes out. No, it's not actually a cutting. If the knife even does not touch your hand, how can it cut you? Right? If you think like this, it's very true. Right? If you think like this, it's very true. Right? What am I doing? What am I doing? I'm saying it's very emphatically, it's very true. This is made of millions of atoms. Millions of atoms, they're going like this. True. Right? Millions of atoms are going, coming, there's no finger there. But we see a finger, it's very emphatic. No, what's emphatic? It's a bunch of atoms going there, coming, going there. Besides, there's no finger there, but we see a finger. It's all because of the illusion. Ignorance creating perception. Right? So if you think like this, slowly your perception can slowly change. Are you getting it? Okay. Okay, so yes.
Meditating on emptiness of the self, just like what we did. Should we imagine when we take out the layers of screen and other things, do we imagine that happening to the person here, or should I imagine some object?
Okay, this is a good question. Very good question. Okay, when I do this, should I imagine myself as in front of me, or myself as really here and doing it here? The best is don't even remove the items. This is the best. Keep the items as they are, right? Because to go closer to the reality. Go closer to reality. Imagine yourself in front of you. This is not the reality. But the reality is that you are here. You are not ripped off. Right? This is reality. Without ripping of yourself, just see to the okay, my principle, this is not me. Go inside though. The fatty tissue is 100% the fatty tissue is there, this is not me. This is how we go. And then we see that within the same composition, an earth, water, fire, air, space, and a consciousness. They are together there. They are together there like 6 people. How many elements are there? 6 elements. 6 people are there. 6 people are together, bound with a rope, one rope. Right? Now, these 6 people, they become one person? No, still there are 6 different people. So these 6 elements, they are bound by one karma. By the same karma, they put together. Right? And with 6 people bound together with one rope, we don't see them as one person. Why should we have to see as one person which governs the whole 6 elements? There's no one person. It's just the 6 elements there. Put them together by the rope of the karma. Right? There's no one person which governs these things. No, then I'm there. This is illusion. Right? Just the 6 elements are there. You getting it? Okay. So we say we should be as clear as possible and earth all solid parts. If possible, go one by one how the words of Shantideva went in the book, right? That in the earth, like the thin skin, the fatty tissue, cartilages, the muscles, the skeleton, the blood vessels, the heart, the lungs, the spleen, the kidney, none of these solid bodies made. Then the blood. Okay, blood. How many liters are there within us? Blood. What is the volume of the blood? 7.8 liters. 7.8 liters of blood within us. Even that is also not me. That's the element of the water. Then the body heat is also not me. Right? It is within me, the body heat. You can just imagine the body heat. Then the air. Actually, this is this air, this is not me. Then the space, not me. Consciousness is just not the gender, it is not me, right? Now, there's nothing really, there's no, where is this I, right? These 6 elements that put together, like 6 different people put together. One has nothing to do with the other, one person has nothing to do with the other person. These are 6 different people, 6 different elements put together. There's no one common factor which governs all the 6 elements. What is the self? Right? It's very scary. It's scary, right? So then you see, what are you seeing? I'm seeing the 6 elements. Where's the person? The person disappears. It's not there. Stay there in this experience, right? Okay, this is the ideal situation. In the beginning stage, don't do it like this. It will not be clear. Beginning, you separate the 6 elements separately. All the element of earth, put it here. Element of water, put it here. So that it becomes very clear in your mind. That yes, I'm made of these 6 elements, they're very different. Now where's the self? It disappears. It's so obvious, right? So obvious. Start from here. Start from there, and then slowly bring them closer, 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 closer. Now even if these 6 elements are together, still you could see the 6 elements discretely. Right? They'll come later. Then you say, where's the person? The person is empty. Right? Okay, so actually there are many more things to go. For example, like Arya Nagarjuna's, the Murumadhima Karika, where it says, if he said what? The aggregates, the self is not the aggregate, not different from the aggregates. The self doesn't depend on the aggregates, no, the aggregates depend on the self. The self doesn't possess the aggregates, whereas the Bhagavata, right? It is in this book, which we read earlier, right? So then I usually, after this 6 elements, then I go to this stanza, right? Okay, so these aggregates, 6 elements, is not Dorji. And Dorji is not different from these elements. If you remove 6 elements, the Dorji is empty, totally zero. It's also. And in this ultimate analysis, Dorji does not depend on the 6 elements, because the Dorji disappears in this experience. 6 elements also don't depend on the Dorji, because the Dorji, what is dependent is not there. And then because the Dorji disappears, the possessor of the 6 elements, appropriator of the 6 elements, also not there. Right? And then the collection of the 6 elements also not Dorji. And the special configuration, special shape is also not Dorji. Where is Dorji? Right? Where is Dorji? Let's take this experience. Okay, so these steps are there. But these steps, it's just sample. It is my personal meditation sample. It's not necessary that you have to go through these steps, but the point is, initially it would be helpful if you can follow this manual. So we have to design a manual. It's available. I think it should be this book. Is it there? Not there.
Yeah, state is
no, state of emptiness is different. You can do it on the basis of state of emptiness. If it's not there, it should be coming. Then the actual version, final publication, should be having those manuals. What are the steps to be meditated, to be included in meditation of the emptiness? Yes, Rashmi?
It has nothing to do with the session today. Can I still ask?
Yes.
I wanted to ask if there is a female Buddha.
Of course, yes, Aratara.
And with Aryatara as being a
Number one, say let us say, first we have to say, first let's say that the Aryatara comes more in the Tantra. More in the Tantra, right? Tantra has four divisions, and Aryatara comes in all four divisions, right? Four divisions. And the Tantra, in the Tantra, say the Aryatara is, see in other words, in simple terms, in the Tantric context, particularly in the context of High Super Tantra, all the deities are actually the Buddhas. And particularly the chief deity in the High Super Tantra context, they're all Buddhas. So Aryatara is one of them. Right? Aryatara is one of them. One. And then, interestingly, even in sutra system, some institutions which follow purely sutra, right? In some institutions, in the past, you will see they worshipping Aryatara also. So therefore, can be seen that even the people who strictly follow sutra, they also worship Aryatara. But of course, amongst the Tibetans, that's different. Amongst the Tibetans, everything is there, so that even if you follow the sutra, you still worship Aryatara. This is a different thing. I'm talking about the ancient Indian institutions. For example, I think in the Mumbai Canary Caves. I think there was the sculpture of Arya Nagarjuna. I think 11 phase Arya Nagarjuna. So like that, Aryatara was worshipped by some institutions which are purely follow sutra. But the point is, Aryatara is more into Tantra, and the Tantric texts, you see the mention of these.
Can you give me one name of the...
For example, Shri Guru Samaja Tantra.
Which one?
Shri Guru Samaja.
Is it a book?
No, Shri Guru Samaja, this is a text. But to really get it in English, I'm not too sure.
So in this Tibetan text of Sri Guru Samaja Tantra, it's written that Aryatara is Buddha?
Of course. I said it, Aryatara is one of the major deities.
Actually, a related question actually.
Why do you want to prove that Aryatara is not Buddha?
No, I want to prove to somebody else.
Okay.
So we say that consciousness doesn't have any gender. So they have become Buddhas, which means ideally they should not have any gender. So on the basis of their previous existence, do we call them male or female?
Okay.
Let's say that Geshe, because of practice, Geshe becomes a Buddha, right? So Geshe becoming Buddha is Jeshe's mind becoming Buddha. Mind does not have a gender. When Geshe becomes a Buddha, is that a male or female?
So we cannot speak about the gender. If we cannot speak about the gender, but we can speak about Aryatara as female.
Arya is the male and so forth. So that gender is possible on what basis? Is it possible on the basis of the early version of the person before becoming Buddha?
This is the question.
Yeah.
Okay, not really. So say when Geshe becomes Buddha, Geshe can manifest in millions and infinite emanations. So where, for example, let's say Indrani, right? She's so keen to say she's karmically connected with you, you become a Buddha, and she's worshipping you in the form of Buddha. But she's so keen to worship the female Buddha, then you will manifest in the form of a female Buddha. That is, the female Buddha has a body which is a radiant body, not the ordinary body, radiant body with the the female forms. And whereas somebody, wants to have a karmic connection with you, to worship you in the form of a male body, with a manifest male body. So the same person, when becoming Buddha, can manifest all of forms, males, females, and so forth.
Stanza,
Yes, Russ.
stanza 86 I have two doubts. Actually here, stanza 86 talks about directional divisions.
Yes.
What are they? Directional divisions.
Directional divisions meaning the same. Let's say this is the particle. This is a very subtle particle. This particle has directional parts. Directional divisions.
These are 10 directions.
10 directions or 8 directions or 6 directions, north, east, west, south, top, down, 6. Right? Yeah.
And the same thing, it says finally, like space, the particles do not truly exist.
Yeah.
So here in Buddhist philosophy or cosmology, so do they mean that space particles are empty?
This has nothing to do with space particle. Right? This simply means like a space. Space, we call it space because there's nothing really there. Likewise, a particles, we see as particle, solid particle there. If you analyze, you can really find nothing. We can't find anything there.
Nothing to do with that.
No, it has nothing to do with the space particle that we're talking about. Yes, Radhaji.
Yeah, my question is related with arhats getting liberation. So one of the verses we were talking about, they were talking about arhats of lower school who are not really arhats in a complete sense.
So they're saying arhats as posited in the Abhidharma. Yes.
So their view was not the prasangika madhyamika view.
Yes.
So can we conclude that any being who gets liberated necessarily has to have a prasangika madhyamika view?
Okay, the answer is yes.
So then can we have a Shravaka Arhat at all who does not have prasangika madhyamika view?
Never. Whether Shravaka, Pratibhuta, whatever, as long as the person is arhat, should necessarily have the prasangika as understanding of emptiness. Yes.
So there cannot be Chittamatra Arhat.
Never. Yes, Protantaji.
So I want to go back to the red flower, the illusion like red flower in your left hand, and the imaginary blue
Blue
flower.
flower in the left
And
hand.
you are a Chittamatra and we are Prasangika.
Yes.
And so we all fell into the Chittamatra when you asked us. So you said it will come later, but it didn't come.
Yes.
So I want to still, I'm really very curious to find out what would be, how would we look at this as prasangika? I mean, everything we said kept falling into Chittamatra. We found something, we kept finding.
I forgot the whole discussion. No, if you can remind me well.
So you had one flower that you were.
Okay, let's see. The white flower in my right hand and the imaginary blue flower in my left hand.
Both
Yes.
were subjective.
Both are subjective.
And you are coming in from the Chittamatra side. And we
Say
are,
again.
you are Chittamatra.
I'm following Chittamatra, you are following Prasangika. Yes.
Right? So you asked what is the difference between the illusion like flower
And the illusion.
And the illusion.
Yes.
So we said that most of us said, oh, there's something, there is some substance there. Everything we said, oh, but you are coming into a Chittamatra side. So what would be the difference from Prasangika?
Okay, how would you say that from Pratik there's nothing really there? Still, how can you say that this is not illusion, this is illusion lie? Wow. Huh?
This has causes and conditions, while this
illusion does not have causes and conditions.
Even the cause and condition is also illusion lie,
Yes.
right? So how can you differentiate between the illusion like cause and conditions and illusory cause and conditions? How would you distinguish this? This is the question.
Efficacy of karma, otherwise there is no difference.
Okay. In fact, the answer is 100% there, but the thing is that we could not get there. We got it. The answer is 100% there. Okay, let me see. Okay, it is there. stanza 106, 107, 108. Let me read stanza 108. Both conceptual thought and objective investigation are mutually dependent, and by dependence on worldly acceptance, all objects of analysis are expressed. One zero six seven eight. Okay, if we could remember what the Shantideva said, did you say something of the three characteristics?
Yeah, the Chandrakirti, it has to be not refuted by a conventionally valid mind, should not be refuted by ultimate mind realizing ultimate reality. And the third, of course.
Okay, so this is what is said by Lama Tsongkhapa. In fact, this is something which is so unique of Lama Tsongkhapa, where rejecting objective existence and still adhering to the efficacy of the valid existence. In other words, accepting valid existence and rejecting objective existence, rejecting intrinsic existence. The harmony of the two is posited by Lama Tsongkhapa, right? Okay, so to this, many of the Lama Tsongkhapa's contemporary scholars, they objected Lama Tsongkhapa by saying that if we adhere to the validity of the phenomena, you are adhering to the objective existence. This is what many of the contemporary Lama Tsongkhapa's contemporary scholars who are contemporary with Lama Tsongkhapa, they objected. They tried to refute Lama Tsongkhapa like this. But this is so unique of Lama Tsongkhapa. Rejecting objective existence, this will help us eradicate the negative emotions. Seeing the validity of the functional phenomena helps us to enrich our positive qualities. It's beautiful, right? Okay. So now, how can we validate? How can we validate that this flower, while the flower in the right hand, the imaginary blue flower in the left hand, while both are subjective, what validates that the first one exists and the second one doesn't exist? While both are subjective. So, the Lama Tsongkhapa did not say that there's something there, right? We said, which the Choe, the Prasangas say, there's something there, right? The label, behind the label, there's something there. Or the one Prasangika said, there's the basis of designations there, right? Okay. So, okay, Lama Tsongkhapa didn't say any of these things. What he said is that it should qualify, whichever of the two qualifies the three characteristics. One is that it should be commonly accepted. It should be commonly accepted. One. Number two, it should not be rejected by the conventional analysis. It should not be rejected by the conventional analysis. Number three, it should not be rejected by ultimate analysis. Any object, anything which fulfills these three things validly exists. Anything which does not fulfill these three characteristics does not exist. Okay, this is how Lama Tsongkhapa explains. This explanation was done in the third volume. What? Lamrim Chemo, the great treatise on the stages of power enlightenment. The great treatise on the stages of path to enlightenment, a third volume. And the third volume is the first one is that it should be commonly accepted. One. Okay, it should be commonly accepted in the world. It should be commonly accepted in the world. Number two, it should not be rejected by the conventional analysis. Number three, it should not be rejected by the ultimate analysis. You getting it? Okay, these are the three characters. Now let's see this flower. Which of the two fulfills the? Okay, let's say the white flower in my right hand, the white flower in my right hand, and the blue flower in my left hand. Not imaginary blue flower. Imaginary blue flower exists. Exists or not exists? Imaginary blue flower exists. Blue flower in my left hand doesn't exist. Blue flower in the left hand is also subjective, and the white flower in my right hand is also subjective. Blue flower doesn't exist. Getting it? Okay. So which of the two? Blue flower fulfills the three characteristics, or this white flower fulfills the three characteristics? Let's say that, okay, this white flower. What's the first criteria? That it should be commonly accepted by the world. Okay, the world accepts this as a flower, and the blue flower in my left hand. Okay, let's see. But the hallucinating people, they accept it. Hallucinating people, they say, oh, it's beautiful, it's now blue, now yellow, right? Okay. So hallucinating world accepts it. So which means that they both accept it in the conventional world. Conventional world doesn't mean that the valid conventional world. It can be known that also, right? In the conventional world, one can be accepted. One. Number two, that it should not be rejected by the conventional. Okay, first let's go. That it should not be rejected by the ultimate. You can go with number 2 and 3. You don't need the proper sequence. Same ultimate analysis. The white flower which exists and the blue flower which doesn't exist. These two, are they rejected by the ultimate analysis?
No.
Okay.
You can put the white flag through ultimate analysis because
I did not say that it put to ultimate. This is not what I said. I said is that it should not be rejected, refuted or rejected by the ultimate analysis. Which means, okay, let me say, okay, I close my eyes, right? I close my eyes. Okay, now, or let's select this. Let's select this. Okay, I close my eyes, and you say that. Then I say that I want a cloth which is blue, a blue cloth. I want a blue cloth, and you bring this, right? Can I evaluate that this blue cloth with my ear?
no.
That is this blue or not?
No.
This is blue or not? This is not blue. Then I think that this is blue, right? So you say this is blue. You say that this is blue. I have a blue cloth for you. Now my eyes are closed. So my ear can it reject that this is blue?
No.
Why not?
Yes, it's not power to see.
Color has nothing to do with the ear, right? So this flower, which of the two reality belongs to, conventional or ultimate? Whether it exists or not exists, it belongs to this category, conventional and canon. If it is to be rejected, ultimate analysis has nothing to do with this. Because the ear has nothing to do with the color. You're getting it? Ear has nothing to do with the color. Ultimate analysis has nothing to do with the flower. So therefore, ultimate analysis cannot reject it. So it fulfills the second criteria. Ultimate analysis cannot reject this. Now, what is the third? Conventional analysis. Is this rejected by conventional analysis? No. How? How does conventional analysis say whether it exists or not exists? You should come closer to the flower and see, oh yeah, this is a real flower. Right? Finish. So the conventional analysis doesn't reject it, ultimate analysis doesn't reject it, and it is also known in the conventional, in the world, commonly accepted in the conventional world. So it fulfills the three characteristics. Now, okay, there's a flower in my left hand, blue flower in my left hand. Okay, is it accepted in the conventional world? Yes, the hallucinating people, they accept it. Is it rejected by the ultimate analysis? Huh? This blue flower in my left hand, rejected by ultimate analysis? No, ultimate analysis has nothing to do with the blue flower, it exists, not exists. Ultimate analysis to see whether it exists objectively or non-objectively, subjectively. It does not analyze whether the object exists or not exists. You're getting it? So ultimate analysis, so it is not rejected by ultimate analysis. That fulfills number 3. Number 2. Number 3, it is rejected by conventional analysis.
Yes.
Rejected by conventional analysis. How? You come here, oh, there's nothing there, right? There's nothing there. Okay, so that is rejected by conventional analysis. So therefore, this blue flower in my left hand, it does not fulfill the 3 criteria. Which is not fulfilled? The third one, that is not rejected by the conventional analysis, that is not fulfilled. So therefore, it is not conventional, it does not exist. Whereas the white flower exists. This is the distinction. Right? Okay, yes, Ranabaji?
My question is related with what we discussed yesterday.
Yes.
Regarding purification practices. So any purification practice related with emptiness.
Not with emptiness, with wisdom of emptiness.
Yeah, which has wisdom of emptiness into it, is far superior than any other practice which does not have.
Very much.
So then Lama Tsongkhapa spent many years doing millions of prostrations. How do we reconcile with?
Millions, I don't know. But many prostrations.
Yeah, many years doing many prostrations.
Not really many years. Lama Tsongkhapa, when in his day-to-day life, he must be doing that. But for 11 months, the last, 11 months, at the advice of Arya Nagarjuna,
Yes.
he dedicated the 11 months into strict solitary retreat. Yes.
But he did 1 lakh prostration for every one of the 35 purification Buddhas. So 35.
So
that's this practice of purification and practice. I just wanted to reconcile this.
Why would he do prostration? We just do emptiness.
okay, this is a good question. This is a good question.
Why do we offer water bowls in study?
That's a good question. That's a very good question. Okay. Okay. Say the chawal and roti, they're the best food. Why do you have to add masala? Why do you have to add water? Right? Pani is chawal and roti. Why do you have to add water? These are all required. When we say one is very important, it doesn't mean that others should be ignored. Others are very important, very important. But the heart, right? The car, what is the most important part of the car? Engine. And then remove the wheel, remove the steering, everything remove, take the engine, right? Then the car will not work. So we need all the things. This is known as the mutuality of dependence, right? They are all mutually dependent. Yeah. Yes.
I was asked to remind of the question from yesterday.
Yes.
Why is the ultimate reality a negative phenomenon?
Okay, this is a good question. Why is
Can we have a break for dinner and come back?
okay, why is ultimate what ultimate?
Ultimate reality a negative phenomenon.
Okay, why is ultimate reality a negative phenomenon? Okay, tomorrow morning.
There is one more question you asked us to remind you.
Yeah.
Tomorrow morning, please.
Yes.
Geshela, this Bhagavad was telling that the self is
The mind is the self.
And later Shantideva I think said that we should not go beyond conventional analysis of the self. If we go beyond the conventional analysis of the self does not.
Self will not be found.
Will not be found.
Yes.
But then then in that case, what Bhagavata is saying is correct, because I'm not convinced about Shantideva's argument. I think it's
Because we studied only for 3.5 days. No, just 3 days.
Okay,
Half
which
day tomorrow.
book should I read for Bhagavata to understand his argument?
Is there any book?
Yeah.
Do you suggest any book to read Bhagavata's?
Okay, if you really want to, I don't Bhagavad Gita's text, I'm not sure whether they are translated into English. Don't worry, but you can read the Bodhisattva Shantirakshita's book. Bodhisattva Shantirakshita's book, the
Ornament
of the middle way. Ornament of middle way, that is available in English. Because their philosophy, Acharya Bhaviveka and Acharya Bodhisattva Shantirakshita. So these two, except for some minor differences, the main philosophy is same. That is, that the mind is the self, is the same. Bodhisattva Shantirakshita and Acharya
They are from the same school, though.
Same school, Swatantra Madhyamika. Both from Swatantra Madhyamika. There's a slight variation. Within Swatantra Madhyamika, one follows Yogacara, Swatantra Madhyamika, and Acharya Bhaviveka follows the Sautantrika, Savatantrika Madhyamika. Okay. Okay, we'll do the quick dedication prayer.
That was a question.
Yes.
Tomorrow I'll ask.
Yes, yes. Okay. Page 278. Page 278. Page 278. In the land and circle by snow mountains, you are the source of all happiness and good. All powerful generous ends in Gyatso, please remain until samsara ends. Just as brave Manjushri and Nalanda Buddhist too realize things as they are. Also, I dedicate all these merits in the best way that I may follow their perfect example. I dedicate all these useful virtues with the dedication praise as the best by the vigorous ones thus gone of the 3 times, so that I might perform the noble Bodhisattva's deeds. May the Supreme Bodhisattva that has not arisen rise and grow, and may that which is arisen not diminish, but increase forevermore. As long as space remains, as long as sentient beings remain, until then may I truly remain with this very visible world. Due to the merits of these virtuous actions, may Buddha attain the district of Guru Buddha, and lead all beings without exception into the enlightened state. I dedicate the merit thus gathered towards the realization of the decency prayers of all the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas of the 3 times, and to the whole of the Dharma of teaching and realization. May all lives through the force of this merit never separate from the 4 wheels of the mind and vehicle, and accomplish all the stages of path, renunciation, bodhicitta, perfectly in their 2 stages. With the wish to free all beings, I shall always go for refuge to the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha until I reach to enlightenment. In spite of wisdom and compassion, today in the Buddha's presence, I tell you my full awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. I go for refuge to the Triple Gem, I confess the negative beliefs individually, I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings, and I hold the best for them in heart. The power of unity and compassion is also explained by the protector of both the Dharma and the weakness known as with the lotus hold of Tenzin Gyatso, we supplicate you spontaneously. May the operations of ill thoughts and deeds of the negative force of humans and non-humans who have organized with perverted prayers against the teachings of the Buddhas be truly vanquished through the power of the truth of the 3 jewels. In all my lives, never separate from the perfect Gurus, and to the benefits of Dharma, by completing the quality stages on the paths, may Buddha attain the state of Vajradhara. Around my future lifetimes, may always be guided by Manjushri, and be able to uphold the Dharma in general, and the teachings of dependent Buddhist in particular,